Okay, so I drilled the bottom one out to 9/16, and I bet this is going to go now. Perfect. That looks perfect. I don't think this thing's ever coming off again. I got that off just a little bit there, but that's okay. My socket is not quite symmetric in there. It's close enough now. Okay, here's the second one, and so I can just use my drill bit on the top, and then I got to use my, got it all in line. I got number 2 here, and remember I'm going to take this, and it's just going to get moved inside like this. I won't flip it. Here, I have to use my transfer punch first. Okay, let's see what the mark looks like with the transfer punch. If I've got to drill it out, or if I can just go ahead and do my spade bit work right off that mark. I think I'd be wise to drill it out. Okay, so you'll see when I start this, I let it run really fast, and then I slowly let it enter the work so it'll cut a nice, perfect perimeter. Let me get up here so I can see my mark. That's pretty clean, you know, for just freehanding it. That's where these bits shine. They shine on freehand, and they do okay on the drill press too. But they, like I said, where they are terrible is if you have too big a hole here and then that point is trying to chatter and wallow out. So you gotta have a small pilot to make them work right. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go ahead, I'm just going to drill these guys out now, just the same way I did the other one, and now I feel very confident that I should just go ahead and drill the top one of this out to 1/2 inch and then just open this one up to 9/16, so I can have the ability to, you know, kind of let it pivot or gimbal on there and just level it out. Okay, let's see how this fits. So here's my number 2, and then here's my number 2 here. So it's going to fit face to face, because remember I marked it like this. So now it's just going to come down in here, and let's see what we got here. Remember I drilled the bottom one out just a little bit bigger, 9/16. Left the top one at 1/2 inch. Wow, that's just perfect. You do a little check for squareness here. That looks pretty good. Oh, see, I got some adjustment here too, since that bottom one is, that looks, I think I'm just going to tighten this down to 90%. That, I'm just sighting that down there, and that looks good. I'm going to just get this thing tightened down to about 90%, and then I can wrap it with the hammer. Let's see what I got here. I think that's just a blob of paint there that's, yeah, I think that was paint at the top or bottom. Let me just do a visual. There's plenty of slop in this. Okay, I'm going to hold off until I put the other pieces on, since I still think the paint needs to dry up a little bit more. You know, this Sherwin-Williams industrial paint, this enamel it's a slow cure finish. There's no doubt about that. So I don't want to get a bunch of paint sticking to one another, but it looks right. And you know, here's my barrel. See, my barrel is just exactly perfect. So it's going to slide in here anywhere, and tie these two together with the bolt and the homemade contraption I made. You know, this handle, this homemade handle, and the nut on the other side. Well, the new bracket is done on the other side, and so this is actually, you know, the green one was my original one, the red and the blue on the other side, that's the new one that I just fabricated, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So the mahogany stretcher across the two, that was my original one from this side, so I'm going to have to make another one, but I'm so glad that they are interchangeable. And but you can kind of see that with the stiffening cylinders in here all tied and pinned together, that it really does make this a lot stouter. I mean, that's It's plenty stout. I mean, that's plenty stout to support. It was stout before, but that's fine. But you know what I've decided? The next time I break my welder out, I'm going to go ahead and take some of these 1/2-inch cap screws, drill a hole in a piece of steel just this size, and then weld around it and have a handle on it here, so I don't even have to use a wrench. So here I have to use this wrench, and then sometimes it interferes with the wing nut that's on the bottom of this. So I'm going to deal with that because I can just have one handle. It'll just be this with one handle coming off one side. It won't be a T like the rest of these. Just so I'll be able to position it, and then just lock it and crank it and hold this one on the back. So I'll take care of that next time. But this is really nice because, you know, if I want this to completely come off, you know, these brackets to completely come off, it's very simple. So, you know, now I've got this clean face here if I want to put something big up against the side of my Ribot. And so this works really well. And so I'm pretty darn pleased. So I got to just, you know, make a couple handles, but you know, I'm not going to do that until the next time I'm welding some other stuff, and that may be a couple weeks. I gotta make some money doing some woodwork and stuff. So here's another thing that I use all the time, and so this just is exactly the width of the track here in here. So you can see I have, you know, I have another block here that I can slide here, and I've got another one that's got a piece coming down here. But you know, a lot of times instead of it just being here, you want to be able to lock it in place. So I have this piece of all thread, and I welded the nut to the top of it. But the pain was that every time I started turning the bolt on the bottom to tighten it up, then this would spin. So see, I just welded a little T on it right here. So now I can just reach in here and hold it, and then I welded a nut onto a handle. So now, you know, whenever I want to just put this in here, you know, get that locked down there, I just have to reach in here and just kind of hold that T just a little bit. And there I go. That thing's not moving anywhere. So just all these little things that you can do to create, you know, just welding nuts on, welding bolts on, welding things to all thread. You can just create so many time-saving devices in your shop using these techniques. See, so I was able to take that on and off without any tools, just because of what I had integrated into. And this is all just cheap stuff. It's just a piece of cheap 3/8" all thread, some scrap steel. You know, this is just scrap wood that I made this out of. And you know, now I'm just, you know, I'm 100% guaranteed that whenever I lock this thing down, if I'm scraping a narrow board or something and I'm really driving into this, it's not going to move, you know. So welding's a good thing. It's a great thing for us woodworkers to have a handle on.